Hi everyone! Welcome to my first ever sketchbook tour. Today we're gonna go through my old high school sketchbooks. These two sketchbooks are from my junior years, so basically when I was in grade 9 and grade 10. As you can see, I had this thing for cutting out my sketchbook cover because I thought it was cool back then. I even labeled them and everything. The spine is like falling apart, but you know, that's what happens when you use a sketchbook well, so yeah. Oh, and here's some tea on my grade 9 or 10 days. That was actually the prime time of my anime phase. So basically, like, I had been studying, quote unquote, studying anime since my first year of middle school. And so once I reached high school at this age, I was like in my zone of drawing the same anime girl over and over again. So you'll see that style. You'll see me struggle to fill this sketchbook. It was the first time I ever actually did one, like for real. Oh yeah, you'll also see I have these like little sticky notes attached throughout this sketchbook. They're basically just comments from the teacher that I would have that year. I had the same teacher for the first 2 years, and then it changed for the last 2 years, so the senior years. But basically why I keep them is because they have some really encouraging comments on them sometimes, and I think it's really good to note for if you're a teacher watching this, haha, that your words impact students much more than you think they do. So yeah, those sticky notes, I still look back on them because they're very encouraging, and so I remember that, you know, the people that were cheering me on throughout high school. As you can see, that's how I drew anime, that page right there. I used to draw anime like that, the same face over and over again, thinking that I was I guess I was cool drawing anime. It's just that I just drew anime, and I think that's the, you know, that there's this whole tea in the art industry about whether or not anime is art. And well, Western industry, not Asian industry, sorry, excuse my Eurocentrism. But basically there's this thing where a lot of Western culture doesn't look at anime as real art. And I think part of the reason why that is because usually when people here in our culture attempt that style, usually that's the only thing that they do. Or usually you start because you're a fan of it, not because you're actually studying, you know, perspective and comic and inking and things like that. Usually it's just people that want to draw like it, but not actually studying it for the sake of the how do I say, the art of drawing anime. People draw anime but don't dive into the art of drawing anime. And so I guess that's why you can see I struggle to fill the sketchbook. As you can see, I'm literally drawing like the same girl over and over again. It's because I didn't know how to draw anything else. I spent those like 3 years drawing the same girl, and though that amped up my skills, like my skills were quote unquote pretty high for the grade that I was in, so what my teacher told me. But after that, after I reached this point of grade 9 and grade 10, I couldn't get any better. And that was because I was limiting myself to this certain style or to this certain habit of drawing the same thing over and over again. And so I actually developed the teacher developed a kind of a rule with me. And the thing is, it's a rule where I was quote unquote banned from drawing anime in the class, at least. And it was I see the intention behind it, and it did push me a lot when I was attempting to do that throughout the years in high school, right? But the damage there's a light side and a dark side, right? The damage that advice did to me as well was a lot, and it actually took me a long time to get back into drawing what I loved, right? And so this sketchbook is basically back in the good old days, you know, when I could just draw what I wanted, and I was just kind of testing the waters in other parts or in other types of art, but not necessarily diving head into other things because I was banned from drawing anime, you know? So this sketchbook is basically, see, look, I'm so bad at acrylic painting. You see that page? You want to see? That page is so ugly. The page with like all the pink and the random ass flower on it. But anyways, yeah, I'm starting to, like, this is like the first time I ever used acrylic paint. Like, I'm not lying. Those few pages you just saw was my first attempt ever in my life using acrylic. Oh my god, is that a science? Excuse me as I hide that science page that was accidentally in there. I think it was like the cycle of water, the water cycle, where it's like rain, clouds and stuff. But anyways, yeah, look at me trying to attempt to draw Disney and stuff like that. Oh, and here's some digital art. I used to draw like that. Yeah, I used to have a Surface Pro 3 and I used to draw like that. Anime girls. The same thing over and over again. I even had like a DeviantArt. I had a DeviantArt. You know those OC, digital OC, rainbow OC drawing days back when everyone used to have DeviantArt and like upload their own original characters with like furries and like anime girls and stuff like that. Oh, as you can see, this is the back of my sketchbook. I did like this duality thing where I did a bird cage and then I did a girl crying in a prison, which is the same thing, basically, but in a different perspective. So it's like, it's all pretty at the front and all ugly at the back. But yeah, we're gonna move on to my grade 10 sketchbook. I did some Instagram thing. I found this image on Pinterest actually, and I just converted it into a sketchbook cover. But here, interesting about my grade 10 days is when I first came across Michelle Lam. And Michelle, if you didn't know, Michelle Lam is a graduate from the Cal Arts program, or Cal Arts animation program. And she's currently in the animation industry as a storyboard artist and etc. And so as you can see, the style that I start, you know, quote unquote, referencing heavily, because, you know, I was really inspired by her, was Michelle Lam's cartoon style. And the thing is, she's an Asian girl. She's Cantonese too, like me, and she loves to draw. And she loves to do makeup, and she likes to style herself. And I guess seeing that figure as, you know, the young girl I was, I still am young. This is literally like how many years ago? 3 years ago. But seeing Michelle Lam as the person I was really, really inspired. And, you know, in high school was the first time I was hearing from people that I could do art as a job, right? Before, when I was in middle school, I did it as a side thing, right? So it was like, I never knew that I was that good or good enough to do this as a job. And so since I was hearing those comments for the first time, paired with seeing Michelle Lam for the first time, is when I started exploring if I could do animation or if I could get into animation programs. But of course, that habit of drawing anime that I had before that I explained actually caused a lot of problems, because I had the habit of drawing like that for so long, like over and over again, drawing the same thing for like how many years now, that style was always embedded in anything I would try, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But when I'm studying things like realistic anatomy or OMG, look, sparkle butt. Anyways, what was I saying? So when I'm studying like realistic anatomy or trying to draw things that are not anime, the style would come out, right? And OMG, Tide Pods, yes. As you can see here, I'm trying to draw. That was my first attempt on drawing an old person ever in my life. And, you know, it went okay, but it was really, really outside of my comfort zone. And so, OMG, BTS eyes? Oh yeah, I forgot. I had my, okay, I wouldn't say K-pop was my, or not K-pop, what am I saying? I wouldn't say that grade 9, 10 was my K-pop. Well, I guess it was. I started getting into K-pop around grade 6 and 7, and I told everybody back then that BTS was gonna be famous, and look what happened. Anyway, so yeah, you'll see a few BTS drawings in this sketchbook too. Oh my god, I was really into Persona 5 too, and so we had this like stamping project where we would cut out our own stamps from these like rubber blocks and would like ink it and stamp it. You'll see in a bit after these terrible League of Legends drawings. Please do not look at them. Cringe. I was trying to draw something different, okay? Anyways, hurry up, Vivian. There we go. These are the Makoto stamps that I did. I was playing around. I cut it out myself, like the stamp, like from scratch. We basically put it onto this parchment paper and then we transferred it. And look, they turned out so well. I think I have like a good copy piece where I put a bunch of them side by side without like any gaps, and it looked really, really good. The thing is, I think I lost it. But OMG, yeah, so Gris also. Oh my god, so grade 10 was like the prime time of like me finding the inspiration to carry on until this day. Oh my gosh, Doki Doki Literature Club! As you can see, I'm like literally surprising myself with all of the things that I came across in grade 10. What? Oh my god. Oh, I remember this. I remember the comment I got from my teacher for that, because it was the first time that my drawing of a girl didn't look like anime, and he was like, now we're getting somewhere. And to be honest, even though I feel like I kind of developed this fear of drawing anime, which wasn't really that good, that the phase of grade 10 of trying not to draw anime really, really like was part of my transformation, you know, even though it was tough and even though it had some emotional damage and some problems later that I'm, you know, currently trying to solve. I grew a lot. Oh my god, yes, we had a cardboard products too, and I did like this dragon. It's so cool, like with like scales and everything from cardboard. And guess what? I lost it too. Or I don't think I lost it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I think I threw them away. Oh, by the way, this life drawing has really bad memories. Don't let a dude trick you into going on a date and invading your personal space as a naive junior high schooler. Do not do that. Yeah, we'll get into my experience as a junior high schooler or my experience of being harassed as a girl in other videos. But basically, grade 10 was really like the ensemble of all the inspiration that continues with me until today. Okay, but yeah, onto the secret. I think I threw most of my stuff away back then. Because back then, I was like really, really insecure and very like toxically modest and shut in. And so whenever, even though I would get a good mark on something or I was quote unquote okay with what I did for a project, I would go home and I wouldn't care about it. And now I look back and I kind of regret it. I should have saved those. They're precious drawings. So that's one of my regrets. Look at that sketchbook, OMG, the duality thing I did again, where it's like the dark side and the what meets the eye thing, which I think is really, really cool. So yeah, that was my junior high school experience. A lot of inspiration from those years carried on from grade 11 to 12, and even until this day, as I said this probably like at least 5 times throughout this video. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!